Welcome to the Enterprise Booster, brought to you by Robert Gordon University through the YPG. If you're a young person who lives in Aberdeenshire and are interested in starting a business or becoming self-employed, then this workshop series is for you. You might be feeling a bit nervous about starting out on your own, or you might be ready and raring to go. In any case, this series will be able to get you ready for the next stage. First things first, think about your skills and experiences. Do you have existing skills and experiences that you could use to start your own business? You don't always need to go and get formal training, but instead use what you have and go from there. As an example, some of you might be really good at making gifts, gardening, cleaning, and so on. If you don't feel like you have the skills required now, there are lots of ways to learn new things. Okay, so why go self-employed or start your own business? On this screen, you will see a bunch of reasons why people like being self-employed. The top 3 reasons are freedom, the opportunity to be your own boss, and the chance to work on something you're passionate or interested in. But keep looking down the list and you'll see a whole lot of other reasons, including job loss, lack of traditional employment options. All these are great reasons to try self-employment. Self-employment is also on the rise. The diagram on the screen shows you how much growth self-employment stats have had between 2014 and 2017. In fact, according to the most recent stats, by the end of 2019, there were more than 5 million people in the UK self-employed. In Aberdeenshire and Aberdeen alone, 31,000 people are either self-employed full-time or part-time. So, is all self-employment the same? No. On the screen, you will see different types of self-employment options. Independent contractors or freelancers. These traditional freelancers don't have an employer and instead do freelance, temporary or supplemental work on a project-to-project basis. Imagine there's an estate agent in your local area who sells or rents houses. They need a photographer to take pictures of the houses coming on the market, but they don't have enough money or work to keep a photographer full-time on their payroll. That's when a freelance photographer comes in. They would call up a photographer and ask them to take photos as and when they needed them. The photographer would then charge them an agreed price and invoice the company for his or her work. Remember, if you're working for a company as a self-employed contractor or freelancer, you do not get holiday pay and sick leave benefits, but you do often get more flexibility about when you work and when you don't. Moving on to moonlighters. Moonlighters are people who primarily are employed, but also are self-employed on the side. An example of this would be an office worker who runs a small business coaching under-10s in football at the weekend. Diversified workers. People with multiple sources of income with a mix of traditional employers and freelance work. For example, someone who works the front desk at a dentist's office 20 hours a week and then fills out the rest of their time driving for Uber and doing freelance writing. And finally, temporary workers. These are individuals with a single employer, client, job or contract project where their employment status is temporary. For example, a business consultant working with one client on a contract basis for a months-long project. And remember, freelance business owners are also classed as self-employed. These are business owners with 1 to 5 employees who consider themselves both a freelancer and an owner. So, who are self-employed workers? On the screen, you'll see many different types of self-employed worker. Take a look and see if any of these take your fancy. Let's see whether any of us can become self-employed. Grab a bit of scrap paper and write down any skills, training or experience you have. Also write down the stuff you're good at outside work, like social media, drawing, paying close attention to detail, learning fast, or your ability to drive. Then come up with a business idea that can be made based on these things. Here's an example. This person was employed at a local cafe, but with COVID-19, they are currently out of a job. However, they do have a Hygiene Level 2 award. They have access to the family kitchen and utensils. They love baking, and their friends and family think their cakes are delicious. They also have a driver's licence and quite a few followers on TikTok and Instagram. From these things alone, they are potentially in a position to start an online baking business, maybe even over social media, with local delivery. Pause this video for 5 minutes and see what you can come up with for yourself. Make sure you press play again because the next part is super important. We're hoping this presentation has given you a wee bit to think about over the next coming weeks. If you're interested in exploring a business idea or becoming self-employed, make sure you sign up to our Enterprise Booster Workshop series. The Enterprise Booster programme has been designed for young people living in Aberdeenshire who are considering starting a business. These workshops will be interactive, fun and friendly. You will not only learn about the basics, but consider things like your customers, how to stand out from the crowd, how to make money and how to change and grow over time. The workshop will give you the confidence to make a start and access other forms of support available in the region. These sessions are only 2 hours a week and you'll get access to an online course which will give you even more tips and tricks on how to nail your very own business. Check out the dates below and get in contact through Aberdeenshire's Employability Support Team or at the email address below.